Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, and today I wanted to go over the most anticipated films on my 2023 list. There are quite a few. They're really in no particular order, maybe like near the tail ends. I'll get closer to like what I'm really excited for, but let's dive into this list. First up, I've got John Wick 4. I'm a really big fan of the John Wick series. I love the universe that they've created. It's very fascinating to see some other films kind of take this similar approach. You've got like Nobody, Bullet Train, films like that. But I'm really excited to see where this story is going to go. Also excited for the spin-off. I can't remember if it's a film or series, but Ballerina. Not really sure when that's coming out, but overall very excited for that. Next up is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is coming out really soon, right around my birthday, so I'm loving the new trailer. Very excited to see this. Just looks incredible. This looks like one of those movies you've got to see on the biggest screen possible. It's going to be pretty crazy, and can't wait to see Ant-Man and Kang fight. Keeping up with the Marvel trend, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This will be the final Guardians film from James Gunn. We know that the story is going to focus a lot on Rocket Raccoon's backstory. It's supposed to be very sad, emotional. Very curious to see what's going to happen with the Guardians. I really feel like we're starting to get more into that darker path in Marvel. Especially with Kang coming into play, so can't wait to see this one. Next up is Creed 3. I've been a big fan of the previous Creed films. Very curious to see what Michael B. Jordan will do with this one. Again, it's going to be kind of a bummer not to see Stallone in it, but overall, I've been happy with the previous two films, so very excited to check this one out. Next up is Knock at the Cabin. This is the latest from M. Night Shyamalan. I'm a huge M. Night fan. Granted, a lot of his films can be a little bit hit or miss for most, but I'm a big fan of some of his past work. Signs is one of my favorite films. I will say the most recent trailer for this one I felt gave a little bit too much away, but I'm still excited to see Knock at the Cabin and what the twists and turns will be. Following up is Blue Beetle. This is going to be a newer superhero film within the DC universe, so I'm not super familiar with Blue Beetle. I know that the main actor is one of the main stars in the Cobra Kai series, so definitely excited to check this one out. Next up is Peter, Pan, and Wendy. If you look at my letterbox, you know that one of my favorite films is Hook, so I'm very excited to see this new take on the Peter Pan world. I've read a little bit about it, so it does have me a little cautious going into this one, but very excited to see what they'll do with it. Next up is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Video games is a huge part of my life growing up. Played a lot of the Super Mario games. Very excited to see this one. It looks gorgeous. I'm excited to get into this world. Not sold on the voices just yet, but once I've watched the full movie, you know, that opinion may definitely change, but definitely excited to see this one and take my kids to see it. Next up is Wonka. So grew up watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Very excited to see this take on a younger version of Willy Wonka. It's coming out be the very end of the year, but overall very excited to check it out. Next up is Barbie. You know, it's I think this is on just about everyone's most anticipated list, and I think a lot of it's just we're just curious to see like what is a Barbie movie actually going to be like. What is the actual story going to be? What's the premise? The trailer is very intriguing. It's got an all-star cast, so definitely excited to see this one. Next up is Scream 6. It's pretty wild to see how fast the Scream franchise has just popped back into play, and it's taking off so fast. I did enjoy the last Scream film, so seeing this one come out rather quickly, and it almost feels like from the trailer we're almost getting this Jason Takes Manhattan style story for the Scream franchise. But overall, it's cool to see some returning characters, and very excited to see what they'll do with this one. Next up is Oppenheimer. This probably, of everything on my list, this probably has the biggest all-star cast. The latest from Christopher Nolan, his take on Oppenheimer and the creation of the atomic bomb. Man, the trailer looks very intriguing. Hearing what Christopher Nolan has done behind the scenes, like recreating the first explosion without CGI, I can't wait to see this. Hopefully I'll get to see this on like an IMAX screen. Can't wait to check it out. Next up is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We have another DC film on this list. I really enjoyed the first Shazam film. In terms of like the DC entertainment universe, the films that we've gotten, Shazam may be one of my favorites, maybe if not one, two for sure. Really enjoy that character. Excited to see what they'll do with this one. You know, with everything that's been going on with the restructure of DC, I'm very curious to see if they'll utilize this to continue expanding the DC universe. Will they bring in Blue Beetle? Will they bring in any other known characters? Who knows? But I can't wait to check it out. And so I would say these last three on my list are probably my most anticipated films. So next up is Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse blew me away. I pretty much went into that blind. I may have watched the trailer like once or twice, the teaser trailer, but I went into that one and had a blast. I love watching it to this day. I cannot wait to see this one. Even though the trailer, I feel, holds back and it's not the most exciting trailer, I'm already invested in these characters and I can't wait to see this one. Next up is Indiana Jones 5. Indy is something I grew up with. Love Harrison Ford. Love the Indy films. This one, I think, is probably a lot of people's most anticipated. It's one I'm just itching to see. I cannot wait to watch this on the big screen. And hopefully this will be I'm hoping for like the most perfect send-off for Harrison Ford as Indy. Very curious to see if they'll continue on with Indy in any way, but either ways, if they just completely close out this franchise, I'd be fine with it. But I cannot wait to see Indiana Jones 5. And last up on my list is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I love the Mission Impossible films. I really enjoyed the first Mission Impossible film. I think it's underrated. I rewatched it recently. I'm going to start working through the rest of them before this one comes out, but just seeing how far these films have gone, the investment Tom Cruise has made into them, the stunts, all of that. This is like one of the perfect theater films, and man, I just can't wait to watch this one. This may be my most anticipated film of this year. So that's it. That's my list. These, you know, of course, there are plenty other films I'm definitely excited to see, but these are my most anticipated. And granted, we don't know. With schedule changes, a lot of these could get pushed into next year, but hopefully not. Hopefully we'll get to watch all of these this year. 2023 looks to be an amazing year for films. I'm still wrapping up a few watches for 2022 before I release my favorites for 2022, so look forward to that soon. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to most this year? Would love to know so we can chat about it. Thanks so much. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back later this week with some reviews, and we'll see you soon.